Welcome back to the channel Chief Engineers Tea Time Talk. I'm Ramesh and I'll be the pilot who will guide you to this channel. The topic for today, a very simple topic, many of you will presume so. How to tighten a hydraulic nut. Well, seems to be very simple, but hold on. It can really lead to a lot of problems for the guys who are not really understood the nuances of this. Watch out till the end where I'll show you how a ship went off hire because somebody didn't pay attention to a hydraulic nut, and the consequences were beyond your imagination. So keep watching. It's time for tea. Chief engineer is waiting in the control room. Let's head to the control room and hear the chief engineer speak on how to tighten a hydraulic nut. Thank you. Keep watching. Here you have a simple bolt and nut with a pipeline and the flange, and you see we have a gasket here which we are going to tighten. It's a part of our everyday life. We use nuts and bolts, also called fasteners, to tighten flanges and pipes. Idea is that the gasket gets compressed and the contents flowing inside the pipe with great pressure do not leak out. Now how exactly does this happen? So let us see that. I am putting this gasket here. Imagine this is a flange. So I am putting the other flange here, correct? So now I am going to put the nut, and as I keep tightening the nut, you see that my nut starts moving to the left. So there is no surprise here. As I keep tightening, the nut keeps going to the left, and once it touches the flange where all the components have no gap in between, now the nut cannot travel any further to the left. So what is going to happen? If I tighten this nut further, what is going to happen? The bolt is going to extend. You see, the bolt is going to extend out. It is going to stretch. That is because there has to be a relative motion between the nut and the bolt. Now what exactly has happened? This bolt which is stretched wants to go back to its original dimension. The desire of the bolt to go back to its original position is compressing the gasket, and that is why the things inside the pipe are not leaking out. If we have understood this concept very clearly, we move on to the theory behind the hydraulic nut. You see, the entire engine room gang is here. Maybe they are working on the exhaust valve, and we'll understand how exactly this entire hydraulic nut business works and what are the pitfalls. Now here we are going to tighten cylinder head or exhaust valve, whichever you want to imagine. The first step, of course, we are picking this hydraulic nut and putting it here, correct? If you presume it's a cylinder head, we have a cylinder head gasket. Okay, then I am going to put this distant piece. This is called a distant piece, and then I am going to put the hydraulic nut and start screwing it in. As I screw it, the hydraulic nut starts coming in. Now let us start the process of tightening this nut. Right. So before we commence, just I request you to observe the gap here. So I have some gap. That means I have not tightened it to that extent where the jack body is coming and touching this distant piece. So if I start pumping, the oil is going to come between the piston and the body. And first thing what is going to happen is the jack body will start moving down till it comes and touches the distant piece. Once it touches the distant piece, then the pressure is going to build up. Till then it will not build up. And then any further pumping of the oil, you see what is going to happen? The entire stud is stretching. So there is a gap between the nut and the cylinder head. So I keep on tightening the nut with the Tommy bar. So this is a Tommy bar given. So I keep on tightening. So now I keep on stretching, and somewhere here I get the maker's recommended pressure of 1000 bar. So then I quickly tighten the nut. Remember, tightening means hand tight, whatever is possible with the Tommy bar. Now having reached this far, right, the stud is in a very stretched state. So I just release the pressure. You see what has happened is now the stud is extended and I have tightened the nut. The nut is now forcing very hard on the cylinder head. The cylinder head in turn is compressing the gasket. And now that is how even exhaust gases at peak pressure, maybe more than 100 bar, are not leaking out from the gap. Now you need to observe one thing very carefully. These O-rings can travel a maximum distance up to here only. As soon as the O-rings come to this level, if either the jack body is moving down or the piston is moving up, once the O-ring comes and reaches this place, then it is going to slip out. Have a very good look at the gap here and the gap here. So this gap has happened because we have not compressed the piston to the body before every operation. And you see a gap here. Now this gap is because of the famous tradition called quarter turn open. And I am going to talk about it in a very separate video. It's too serious a stuff and a lot of things need to be told about that. So we'll talk about this quarter turn in the next video when we deal with the opening of a hydraulic nut. So whether the gap is here or here doesn't matter. The combined gap, correct? Combined gap is the one which decides the effective stroke of the piston under pressure. So basically if you keep these gaps too much, so what is going to happen? The O-rings are just going to come out of the liner and all the oil is going to leak out before the recommended tightening pressure has reached. There is another thing which is going to happen. Look at the gap here. Now let us consider closely about the gap, effect of the gap here. The gap here, a lot of oil needs to be pumped by the hydraulic pump, which is usually of a very low capacity, just a few drops per stroke before it comes and touches this distance ring. And the time taken for the jack to touch the distance ring will be too much, and the time taken for the pressure to build up is going to be too much. Now let us imagine tightening a cylinder head or exhaust valve where you are tightening, say, all the 4 nuts or the 8 nuts at the same time, and all of them are kept open like this. We have a big gap here, correct? So what is going to happen? As I commence my pumping, all these jacks are going to first move down and start touching the distant piece. So let us see. So now that means the pump is pumping. It's already quite a lot of strokes have happened and still the jacks are only coming down. You see, the jacks are only coming down and they are slowly. Of course, all of them are happening together, but for the sake of animation, I am showing one by one. So all the jacks are slowly coming. Now all the 4 jacks or the 8 jacks have touched the distance ring. Now this is going to take a very long time, and people who are not understood the nuances of the effect of this gap, they get very impatient and think that the hand pump is not working. The pump is not good enough. So there has been a case study where a second year exactly got into this wrong assumption and tightened the air pressure regulating valve beyond its limit and also tightened the pressure release valve with a spanner, thinking that this is bypassing or whatever, and then he damaged the entire pump. The ship was changing a cracked main engine liner and had to drift out at sea till a spare hydraulic pump was delivered by special tugboat 80 miles off the Malaysian coast. And you can imagine the huge risk the vessel was subjected to till you are just drifting and you are completely immobile. So understand the working of this extremely critical device is of utmost importance for the safety of the ship. Thank you for watching. If you really like the video and you want more to come, please do not hesitate to go and hit the like button, subscribe button, put on your comments, and for people who are going for exams, all the best, and people who are sailing, happy troubleshooting, safe sailing. See you in the next video. Thank you so much.